and welcome back to what is the final consignment update of 2024. We weren't sure whether last week's would be, but we couldn't leave you hanging, and this is the last day of business for Gardner Holgate of 2024 as this video goes live. So once again, thank you for your custom this year, and thank you for being part of our YouTube journey as we expand our channel. We've been delighted with the feedback in general, so do keep those subscriptions coming. If you're new to this channel, of course, we'll let you decide at the end whether you want to subscribe, hit the like button and hit the bell icon for future uploads. But as always, do look at our constantly look at our website guitarauctions.com for catalogue previews. Keep an eye on our socials. There won't be a lot going on our socials over the Christmas period because, like everyone, we're having a well-deserved rest, and we may do the odd post here and there, but Instagram and Facebook for socials. But we do have some great things coming up in the auction, as I'm sure you'll all agree, and you're about to see right now. I think we'll start with something that is quite special and historically significant. As we will see, we'll go to the headstock first. The last Gibson flat top guitar made at the Kalamazoo plant. There we go. So this guitar was stamped on the 17th of June 1984, and it was indeed the very last flat top guitar to come out of the Kalamazoo plant before production shifted over to Nashville and the doors of the Kalamazoo plant finally shut. But absolutely stunning instrument. They used all the best timbers, as I think, or hopefully the video that we're showing you now presents. Some really nice figured maple, lovely spruce on there as well, really tight grained spruce. What you'll notice with this guitar is not only have you got that special plaque on the headstock inlaid there in the pearl, but you've also got this Brazilian rosewood head face, and you can see the J-200 inscription just about on the truss rod cover as well. We've got a Brazilian rosewood board, and then we've got this Brazilian even on the pick guard as well as the bridge. So really is a stunning guitar. Custom shop logo on the back of the head as well, and yeah, it is, well, what better model to use than the J-200, the king of the flat tops, to be the last one shifted out of the factory, and sure to cause a lot of interest with Gibson collectors, acoustic collectors, and yeah, historically significant Gibson from 1984. And in here we have some Gibson association, albeit Epiphone. But this is from 1961. It's an Epiphone Crestwood, and generally it's in good shape. There's no breaks that we can see. You can probably see some nice checking happening down the neck there, but the serial number there dates it to 1961. And we've got the usual Clusen Deluxe tuners, and then again on the body some nice checking, original tailpiece. You can see the knobs are original as well. Well, apart from this one, this is a replacement. Some damage to this one over here. But yeah, so I really like these. You don't, do you?
All right.
What was it you said about that reissue we had in a previous video?
Was it one of these?
Yeah, it was one of these.
Oh, God.
A reissue of. That's one of the dumbest guitars I've ever seen in my life. But there we go. I really like them. A lot of other people do. I get why some people may not, but yeah, mini humbuckers. These are very, very good pickups indeed, and yeah, PAF spec at least anyway in micro form, but have a unique sound all of their own. Quite often overlooked and underrated. Well, I mean, we keep saying that, but everyone's now saying that, so I think people are starting to rate them at least anyway.
I'll absolve myself slightly and say I do think that one looks better.
There we go. Maybe it's the vintage look and smell.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The siren song of old guitars.
But there we go. It is a great player too. and yeah, even acoustically, it sounds nice and snappy. But yeah, that'll be coming up on the 11th of March, 2024. And here's something else of a vintage nature. Acoustic guitar again this time, a Guild. This is an F312 model, 312NT, which NT for natural. And this is from 1970. So at this point, Guild were still using Brazilian rosewood. So if I flip the guitar over, you'll see the Brazilian rosewood back and sides. There are some repairs on this guitar. There's a crack down here that's been cleated internally, but sort of decent timbers again. The guitar does look, as it stands, I haven't really scrutinised this guitar completely, but it does look as though it might need a neck reset. There is some lean there, so some work possibly needed, although we haven't really looked into much detail yet. But there we go, and with a non-original, but sort of from the period 70s hard case. So in here again from 1970, this time a Anthony Zemaitis. Apparently that's the wrong pronunciation. I think it's actually supposed to be Zemaitis, but it's so ingrained into my vocabulary now. But tell us in the comments what you think the correct pronunciation is. Anyway, this is a prototype according to the label. Standard model acoustic guitar, and it has had some repairs over the years, but as we can see, if we flip it over, we have a Brazilian rosewood back and sides, and there is a repaired crack to this side here that we can see, and it does appear like the neck may have been reset at some point. Having a look around the lacquer, just the way the lacquer is sitting around the neck. But another cool thing, 1970 Anthony Zemaitis coming up on the 11th of March 2025. And just so that we are catering for all budgets, a lot of you will have seen the B-stock sale that we did this year, June. If you're watching this in the new year, then last year. And we had a lot of these Jet guitars and other things, so we've got some more B-stock guitars in this sale from the same source. And here we have another Jet. This is a JT350, and I think these are great guitars for the money. Now this one is B-stock. It's got some imperfections to the back there, sort of some chips out of the finish, but other than that, it is as it came out of the factory, I suppose. But you've got these roasted necks, locking tuners, their own branded tuners there. Rosewood board with this one. Nice sort of a comfortable modern neck profile, modern C-shape. And then you've got the humbucker with single pickup, Wilkinson hardware. So it's all really good appointments. I believe for Jet guitars, this is kind of their mid-range, but price point wise, not a lot of money at all in the scheme of things. You can see what the, if you go to our sale results, you can see what the previous ones were selling for. You've even got the push-pull on the tone as well. But yeah, great guitar and catering for the budget range. So in here is a wonderfully weird guitar. Wonderfully weird? Is that the right term? Why not? Yeah. Chris Larkin, sadly no longer with us. But this is one of his creations, made both guitars and basses, and you can see this very offset style body with the 3 pickups, hardtail, kind of a flying V-esque neck, from the I believe the 1980s. I've got some paperwork somewhere explaining all about this guitar from Chris's words before he passed away. But if you are after something a bit different and quirky from this period, then there you go. A Chris Larkin Reactor is the model. Chris Larkin Reactor 6-string. Latches. Difficult things. So in here, if you missed out on the crisscross status basses, then we have another one from the 1980s. This is the S-3000 model, so a slightly different model from the carbon ones that Chris had, but you've still got the graphite neck, and yeah, in in good condition generally. I mean, you can see it's had use over the years, some wear around here from general thumb and finger resting, but a decent guitar nonetheless, a bit of buckle rash, so as you would expect for the age. And it even comes with its original gig bag. So it comes with a fairly homemade case and its original gig bag, but really, really cool bass that just screams the 80s. So here we have a very rare Fender guitar, made in 2014. And in the last auction we had one of the tube map guitars. So this is another Transport for London collaboration with Fender, celebrating 60 years of the Routemaster. So this is the Routemaster Stratocaster. Like I said, made in 2014, and it's got all the appointments to sort of match the Routemaster buses, including the well-known seat cloth. There we go, tartanesque seat cloth. But yeah, this is as new condition. This is from the same seller as the tube map guitar. He actually owns two of these bus ones, so he's putting one up for sale, but it's never been used. It's all there still with its original packaging and box. As you can see there, this was the bus at the time that was decorated in collaboration with Fender, and they were sold at the time only 25. So a very rare guitar indeed, and that will also be coming up on the 11th of March. And I think I will just point out in a future clip, I'm pretty sure I said 2024. 2024 still ingrained. We are recording this in 2024, of course. Yeah, very, very close to 2025 now, and you're not late. This is like the buses. You are, yeah, this will be sold on the 11th of March, 2025. First guitar we saw was a Gibson, the last guitar out of the Kalamazoo factory. And this was made in that very same factory, because of course Heritage Guitars, they took over the factory, and some of the old Gibson factory workers, and they set up and created the Heritage brand. So this is from 1989. This is a H575 model, so it's very much a ES175 based guitar. We've got all this highly figured maple. They make fantastic guitars, and on par with Gibson's in mine and other people's opinions. We've even got this flamed maple type guard as well in its case. Another cool guitar. It's a piece of vintage British history or guitar building. So this is a jazz split sound from around 1965. It's dated inside. And the unusual thing about this guitar is it's got a Burns logo, but this guitar was made within the Baldwin changeover. So most of the guitars you see from this period do have Baldwin on the guard, but this will be one of the last that do have the Burns logo. And of course with this one we've got all the sounds, tones, including the Wild Dog setting,
the best one,
which is the best one. Interesting sounds that come out of these guitars. Really nice, sort of fairly small V profile-ish neck. They are nice and comfortable to play, really flat action. And of course, with the split sound pickups as well, hence the name of the guitar. And I think Burns pickups are great. You get that really unique sound from them that you can't really match from many other guitars. But decent condition. There's a bit of moisture clouding on the back, but other than that, it's all there. And some modern Burns for you. So not made in England, these ones. These were produced out in Asia. But this is a 40th anniversary Burns guitar. Of course, the 40th anniversary Marvin. And I think the thing that is quite cool about this one is its serial number 1965. Now, the significance of that is that Bruce Welch Burns Marvin was from 1965, and the seller, he sort of requested if he could have that serial number. So it's just something, a nice quirk with this guitar that's worth pointing out. So it is serial number 1965. And yeah, it's in great condition with its case and all its papers, including its certificate of authenticity. So in here we have a rather nice PRS guitar, and a fairly early one as well. So this is it's technically a CE3, but it's what became the CE24, so 24th frets. You've got the dot inlays and the nice figured maple top. And yes, it's bolt-on from 1992, if I haven't said that already. So there we go, bolt-on neck, as all the CE models have. And there we go. Locking tuners, as you can see, front locking tuners. And yeah, in decent condition, just what the PRS collectors like. So very good condition, original case, has the tags as well. 1992 PRS CE3 or 24, whichever you want. And in here we have an old friend. Some of you may recognise this guitar. It's a J-50 from 1955. I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, 1955 J-50. It's been refinished. It's had a bit of repair work. But we did offer this earlier this year, or if you're watching in the new year, last year, and we couldn't find a home for it. But there's more of a need to sell it this time. So it is back in the auction if this is one that was on your radar. So it's a vintage J-50 from a great, mid-50s period, but it does have issues which makes it more affordable, I guess. But another great vintage piece for that auction on the 11th of March 2025. So another budget guitar for you, and this is an Epiphone SG, and from 2007, but it has had a neck repair, as you can see there. Now, it needed quite a bit of work, but it has been done well. And the thing is, what has happened where it's been done, and the neck has been almost satined back. It plays really nicely. Hence why I'm kind of showing it in this video, because even though it's a fairly budget guitar with issues, which will also bring the price right down, if you want a decent SG with a nice satin finish and a really nice comfortable neck, and with that satin feel, then that'll be a good guitar for you if you don't mind the that repair on the back. So yeah, check that out. That'll be in the affordable guitar section, which will likely be on the second day of the auction, 12th of March. And if you want a Gibson bass rather than a Gibson guitar, and you also want 5 strings, here we have a Gibson EB-5. There we go. 5-string bass guitar from 2017 in the natural finish with its original gig bag. And also from 2017, and something just to please the lefties, we have a Les Paul Standard from 2017. So this one you do have the push-pull pots, and it's just in great condition, hardly played, pretty much unmarked. I can't see anything, that's for sure. But good tonal variations of these push-pull pots. It gives you kind of everything, gives you the out-of-phase Peter Green type sounds as well, and comes with its original case. And by the admission of the seller, just barely ever played. That's not a mark, there's just a bit of film caught to it. But there we go, 2017 Gibson Les Paul Standard. In last week's consignment update, if you missed it, go back and have a look. You'll see we had 2 Lowden guitars, sort of 90s era Lowden guitars. Here's a more modern Lowden guitar, which always come at significantly higher price points, to be honest. But this is an F-35 model. There we go. And with this one, we've got the walnut back and sides, and we've got the Sitka spruce top. So there we go. You can see the walnut there, the figured walnut, but a very, very good guitar indeed. Lowden F-35, and as you can see, also left-handed, so quite a treat for the lefties. In the tweed case, we have a Fender Strat. Mexican made this one. This is a 2007 Fender Classic Player 50s Stratocaster. As you can see from the plaque, these were custom shop designed. Now, this guitar has come from a collection that was amassed by a huge Shadows fan. So a couple of Shadows inspired guitars. There's a Burns Club Series marquee in the collection. There's also lots of effects that were associated with the Shadows as well. So we will have a look at those at some point. But yeah, so in decent condition with a tweed case. This is just dust on the guitar rather than any significant clouding that's coming off. So it does need a light clean, but it's a very, very good guitar in decent condition. So see from this box, we have the Fender Japan import, and this is a Squier by Fender Hank Marvin signature electric guitar in fantastic condition. Comes with its original box as we've just seen, but again from the same seller, who has all the Shadows inspired gear. Currently missing its E string. There we go, but as you can see, in fine condition, colour's really strong. Doesn't really seem to be any significant marks necessarily there. Maybe a few extremely minor dings, but a great guitar, and like I said, comes with its original shipping box. So something else from the same collection, like I said, there's sort of a lot of Shadows inspired equipment. But anyway, this is an old Vox amp. This is an AC10 from around 1959, and there we go. All there. Good condition. And then we move along. Something that is always very much associated with the Shadows is the Roland Chorus Echo RE301, and a much copied unit in pedal form, at least anyway. Boss had a collaboration to make a stomp box that would make a similar thing, but the tape echo there. And then also very interesting here, this is a pair of drumsticks that were actually used by Brian Bennett in 1990 in the last performance, and these are signed by Brian Bennett, Hank Marvin and Bruce Welch, and there we go. Really, really cool. You can see how much they're used. But yeah, avid Shadows fan and collector, and that is just a few pieces. It's a more extensive collection than this, but a few cool pieces coming up in that sale. So there we go, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, the last episode of 2024. Next auction taking place from the 11th to 14th of March, so everything in this video will be included in that sale. Catalogue previews will come onto the website as when we go into the new year at guitarauctions.com, guitar-auctions.co.uk. Of course, you can register for the sale at auctions.gardnerholgate.co.uk. And once again, thank you for watching this channel this year. And please, if you do like the video, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit the bell icon, helps our channel grow and reach an even bigger audience, which allows us to show you more and more wonderful things. But I do wish you all a very happy Christmas and all the best over the festive season, and of course a happy new year, and we will see you again in 2025. See you next time.